The shallow, slow, generic, quick-time event-riddled gameplay make it feel like an experience that would have been better served by a non-interactive movie than a game.
Boring is the best word to describe the Order in general.
The final verdict for the Order, 1886, is a 4 out of 10.
No! Everything is lies. Everything is lies.
Alright boys and girls, I hope you're having a lovely day, okay? Today boys, I wanted to talk about the Order 1886, okay? This is a game that I played maybe a few weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago at the most. I played it before like a good few years ago, but I felt like revisiting it. I was just kind of in the mood for it, you know? I just felt like it was a perfect sort of October-y type game. There was one that I enjoyed so much that I actually wanted to bring it to your guys' attention, okay? I did talk about it very briefly in my last video, okay? When we were talking about like cheap PS4 games, but I wanted to get into a bit more detail with this one, okay? Because I feel like this game is severely overlooked. When this game first came out, it got kind of bashed with like reviews, okay? This was like a sort of 6 out of 10 game when it came out, but I feel like this game has had a tiny bit of a resurgence over the last few years, okay? I see videos pop up on YouTube every now and again saying that this game is underrated, and again, that just sort of put it in my head that I wanted to try it again and see for myself, okay? Because when I initially played it, I did like it, but I didn't think it was anything groundbreaking, and I still don't think it's anything groundbreaking, okay? There's nothing in this game that is like absolutely 10 out of 10 masterpiece level stuff, but I do think it's a very decent game, okay? And you can pick it up like super cheap these days. This is one of those games that you could play in like a weekend or something, you know, you got a little bit of time to yourself, okay? You just want to pop this one in, and there's a lot of things to really like about it. Before we get into that, lads, let's start off with the plot of this story, okay? I'm not going to get into it in like ridiculous detail, okay? Because I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't played it. I'm just going to give you a very, very brief sort of start up to this game. So this game takes place in a fictional version of London, okay? This is like Victorian era London. And basically in London, you have this group called the Order. It's kind of like a secret society, and their job is to take out like supernatural threats in London. And that kind of just consists of taking out these things called the half-breeds, which are kind of like half human, half vampire, but they're also kind of like werewolves. They're a little bit weird. I'm not actually entirely sure what they are fully. But anyway, these half-breeds are popping up around in London, okay? And they're just sort of murdering people, and obviously that's not good for society.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
So the Order is there to kind of take them out and deal with the problem. In this game, you're going to be playing as this guy right here, okay? His name is Sir Galahad, and you, along with other members of the Order, you've got like Izzy and Marquise, people like this. Your job is going to be to investigate these murders and basically stop the threat of the half-breeds, okay? But that's all I'm going to tell you about this game, okay? Because a lot of things happen in this one, okay? There's a lot of twists and turns. It doesn't go in ways that you expect it to go. And it's definitely one of the best parts of the game, okay? Is the intrigue of the story. I was really drawn into the story. I just really enjoyed it. And one of the biggest problems with this game is it never really fully realizes the potential of this story, okay? Because the game just ends really abruptly. It feels like it's just like heating up. It's finally getting going. It's going somewhere, and then the game just ends, and you're like, wait, what? We're gonna end like that? Like, I'm on board, you know? This game desperately needed a sequel, and it just never happened. I'm guessing it didn't get as many sales as they wanted. And honestly, I feel like that's the biggest shame, okay? Because the world that they built in this game is just like, I really want to dive back into it, you know? I want to see what happens next in the story, and we'll never know, I don't think, unless they come out with another sequel out of nowhere, but I honestly don't think it's gonna happen, which is sad. And speaking of this game ending super quickly, lads, this game is insanely short. That's honestly like the worst part of the game, is just how ridiculously short it is. This game is at most about 5 hours long, and yeah, that's definitely not like good enough, you know? If you paid for this game brand new on release and you played it and you finished it in 5 hours, yeah, you'd be pretty disappointed, I reckon.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
When I first played this game, I picked it up when it was quite a bit cheaper. I think I paid about 20 quid for it back in the day. Once I finished it, I ended up trading it back in, and then I think I picked it up maybe a year ago or so. I picked it up for like 5 quid or something, which, I mean, for 5 quid, 5 hours is good. It's good money well spent right there. But again, if you paid full price for this one, then yeah, I can imagine your disappointment when you finished it in a weekend. So I feel like it's also worth mentioning that those 5 hours you do spend in this game are fairly padded out at times, okay? I mean, there is like some really long walking sections that drag on and on for quite a bit. I don't mind them so much because, you know, you get a little bit of story in there. You can appreciate the different environments of this game and just the world that they built, and it's fascinating to look at. But when you consider this game is 5 hours and quite a bit of it is you just walking around and you know, slowly walking around, mind you, I mean, yeah, that's kind of upsetting. I feel like this game should have been way longer. And whilst we're talking about stuff like that I don't like about this game, we might as well just get all of the criticism out of the way before we get onto the good stuff, okay? One of the biggest problems this game I think had, and reason it didn't review super well is it's not too much to it. Now, me personally, I don't mind that so much, you know, I'm quite easily pleased. If the gunplay is good and the gameplay is fun, then I don't need tons of variety, but I feel like this game did need a little bit of variety, because really, all you do is walk around, get to another shootout, shoot a load of people, and then move on to the next section, and then do the same rinse and repeat. And if you take a game like, I don't know, Uncharted, for example, you've got like puzzles in there to break up the pace, as well as like climbing sections. There's a lot of different aspects to the Uncharted games, and this game needed a little bit of that, you know, you needed some puzzles in here or something. There is genuinely nothing in this game other than shooting, which again, it's not the end of the world for me, because I enjoyed the shooting and the gunplay and everything was fun, but I can understand why people were a little bit disappointed that maybe wanted a little bit more variety, if you like. And really the only other big criticism I have with this game is that you barely fight any of the half-breeds, which was super disappointing, because when you actually fight them, they were really fun to fight, okay? They hide in the shadows and stuff, and then they come out and run at you. They're quite easy to beat, but I don't know, it just keeps you on edge when you're fighting them, but you only encounter them maybe like 2 or 3 times throughout the entire story. I really wish we could have encountered them a little bit more. There is like one that you fight, there's like he's like a giant one, and it's a little bit of a boss battle. That was awesome. I want to see more of them ones, you know, more of those types of half-breeds. But again, you very rarely see them in the game, okay? You see them a few times and that's about it. For the most part, you'll just be fighting the regular soldiers and stuff, which is a little bit of a wasted opportunity in my opinion. And again, if this game did ever get a sequel somehow, then they definitely needed more like werewolf slash half-breed slash vampire, whatever the fuck they are. They definitely needed more encounters like that. Okay then boys, enough talking about the bad stuff about this game. Let's talk about the stuff that I liked about this game, okay? And there's quite a list of things I really enjoyed. So first of all, we did talk about this briefly, but the setting, okay? The setting to this game is perfect, okay? Victorian London is just gorgeous, okay? And the graphics of this game really make it stand out, okay? This game came out, I'm actually gonna look this up. I need to know when this game came out. I think, I might be wrong here, but I feel like it came out in like 2015 maybe? And that's kind of a wild guess, but I really want to have a look at when this game came out, because I remember when it did come out, it was kind of mind-blowing. So let's have a look. This game did come out in 2015, okay? And again, the graphics for that time period was astonishing, okay? This game, it looks like an end game PS4 game, you know? It could even maybe, you could argue, looks as good as some PS5 games.
Oh, it's beautiful.
This game was just truly cutting edge at the time when it came out, okay? The graphics really did like blow us away back then. That was definitely the thing that I saw like a lot of people were really happy about with this game, was the visuals. Some of the facial details of this game were really kind of mind-blowing. You can really tell that they just put a lot of like effort into the art direction of this game and just making sure it looked as good as possible. But yeah, I feel like Victorian London was just so perfectly constructed in this game, okay? It was a marvel to look at. And it wasn't just the graphics that really helped with the presentation of this game. I really felt like the voice acting in this game was super good, okay? I don't feel like I hear enough people talk about just how good the voice acting is in here. There's no bad performances. Every single person that lends their voice to this game was on point, okay? They really sold their characters well.
Hands up! Gray?
Don't do this!
I said surrender! You have betrayed our order! No one may escape the penalty! You forget, Lord Chancellor. I'm as good as dead already.
And that just made the story like that much more intriguing, because if the voice acting was bad, then I don't know, I don't think I would have been as invested in the story as I was. But yeah, that was really what I was enjoying about this game. I think the most was just like trying to uncover the story. I was just really gripped by it, you know, and again, a lot of that was because of the voice acting was so top tier. In terms of the gameplay with this one, I know I did say that there wasn't a lot of variety, but to be fair, like what we do have here, like in terms of the gunplay, is really stellar stuff, okay? We had some really nice weapon variety in here. There's tons of like weird weapons, you know, you got all your usual weapons that you kind of expect in this sort of time period. You'll have your average rifles, pistols, and shotguns, that sort of thing, but then you've got like the technological sort of fictional like weapons. For example, you've got like the electric gun, which like shoots out like a thunderbolt. It's awesome to use. I really enjoyed it. But then you've got guns like the thermite rifle, which is like quite possibly one of the coolest weapons in a video game ever, okay? It like shoots out thermite and then you send like a flare shooting out and it will like burn the enemy. It's freaking cool, okay? And the only problem I had with it was that we didn't get to use this gun more, because again, you don't really see this gun that often. I wish we could have used it for the whole game, honestly.
It's so awesome, I love it.
And what really helps with these guns are the sound design, okay? The sound design to this game is absolutely fucking fantastic. Rather than me describing how good it is, I'll just show you a few clips of like the guns, okay? And just listen to how good and almost realistic they sound. So yeah, the gameplay to this one, while not a ton of variety, was always super fun, okay? I always enjoyed the shootouts, and again, a lot of that is because of like the amazing weapons you got to use. I don't know what else there is really to talk about this game, because there's not that much to it, to be honest. It's one of those games that honestly is pretty linear, and it's quite basic and simple, but sometimes you need that, okay? Especially nowadays, you know, when you play games, I feel like they're always big budget, open world, there's a lot of things you gotta do, it will take you like 100 hours. Sometimes you need a game like this, okay? Honestly, I just wish it was a bit longer. If this game was like, I don't know, 10 hours of what we had here, maybe a little bit like gameplay variety, that would have been the perfect game for me. That's the kind of game I really enjoy to play. I just really wish we would get a sequel to this one, okay? Because if they just made those small adjustments and then we got like a full-on conclusion to the story, then I would have been so sold on that. But again, I don't think it's gonna happen, which is honestly just a shame. And honestly, I just feel like this game is just so overlooked, okay? It was such a fun experience, and yes, it's not like the best game you'll ever play. It's not gonna change your life. It's not a 10 out of 10 experience, but it was just fun, you know? And my biggest criticism with it was that I wanted more, you know? And that's a good thing. It has a super intriguing story with great characters. The visuals were absolutely mind-blowing, especially for the time, but even now I think they're still good. Gunplay was fun. It was a simple game, but my god, was it good. So yeah, let me know, boys, have you played The Order 1886? Okay, was it a game that maybe you've overlooked because maybe you saw the reviews and you thought, oh, I'm not gonna spend my money on that one? Is it something that you'd be interested in? And if you have played it, let me know in the comments how you feel about it, okay? But other than that, boys and girls, subscribe here if you're new, okay? And I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Peace.